Master first promised that I am Tianzong Qingjin. I went directly from the Ruined Forest route to the Divine Fly Forest route in seconds. The tester said I am a master of swordsmanship. I suddenly felt like there were strong cuts all over my body and fingers. And all this is because I have a magical quality. As long as someone touches me, then the thing he blew will come true. 18 years ago I traveled through a fantasy world, cut a path under the corner of the mountain for my master and let it float and grow up. But because the sect has not had Lin Zhen's address for 30 years, tomorrow the superior sect will send people to disband the sect. My only 5 brothers are afraid of being teased. I have also quit saying that I have to resign to master in advance due to family matters, and searched the courtyard. After not finding the previous item, Mom practiced and went down the mountain. I was born with nowhere to go. Accompanying the master who was selling it the new year, he talks in sighs about how the sect is not able to compete. Kesa Tian Tian joins Zhuangtian sect. Even if the sect will be disbanded tomorrow, I still got up and walked for a long time. Anyway, idle time is idle time. I want to finally knock on those ancestral temples that I have been knocking on for 17 years. Each person in the middle card has an 8-card iron middle card. This is the 4th thing of the Shun Zone. Only disciples of Tianjia with spiritual roots can break it into pieces. Look around. Shooting from the front, those 80 pieces of iron were smashed into pieces. It is the testimony of our sect's gray and yellow color in the West. I have been knocking for 17 years. The Tiezhong in front of me. There is still no trace left. The bowl is intact. I can only complain and keep hitting. And just when zone was struck, Master Li Changsheng looked at my back. I stopped breathing. With your talent and willingness to endure hardships, if you have spiritual roots, you will definitely be able to achieve extraordinary things. Is unstoppable. It's just a pity. Yan Sheng turned around in a dark way and wanted to leave. But just when the sound of it ended, as I was hitting it, I suddenly felt that I was smelling something inside my body. But don't be fooled by the sudden appearance of something extra. This has been me for more than 10 years. Feelings after getting back from the media. When I think of that unlikely possibility, I excitedly raised the wooden pendant in my hand. Hit the iron again. As the mighty middle life of life sounds, the master who had turned around helplessly suddenly heard. At the moment when Zhongqing falls, there seemed to be a faint sound of chain cracking. As I continued to hit with excitement, that iron mouth with cracks. Finally, he was beaten into pieces all over the ground. 18 years of fighting. I finally awakened my spiritual roots. More excited than me. My master, Li Changsheng, has already run to me and is haunted by his soul. It's as if his own child has been admitted to a top university. If it weren't for the sect, the conditions are really limited. He really wants to understand the drill. Bring this good news to the world. Early the next morning, 2 staff members from Zhongqingyun sect were sent to the sect. Came on the clouds. Their purpose is to disband the sect. Only then did I learn. My master, Li Changsheng, turned out to be the Hufao Qingyun sect, the Shang sect. Shangzong read other things. Dedicated again for 80 cloud years. Maybe he can take Sui Li going back to Qingyun sect to rest. But I saw my master. That corner of the mouth that I can't suppress no matter what. I knew he was going to pretend. Li Changsheng immediately agreed to the deacon's order. Rather, it means that there is a disciple within the sect who possesses spiritual roots. I hope the staff can bring Qingyun sect back to me to rest. Only then did the 2 staff members see his little disciple, Mei Aoki, hide. One of them immediately put Shoan on my shoulder to probe, waiting for confirmation. After I do have spiritual roots, without saying a word, the gray hand fisted us and we rose up in pain. The 4 of us flew in Yunwu for 5 hours. Only then did we arrive at our destination, Qingyun sect. Looking at the clouds in front of me and talking about the hot mountain breeze, I couldn't help but blurt out. If you don't say, it will be 3,000 years later. One is to cater to Luo Jiutian. This time I opened my mouth. It shocked the 2 staff members. In addition, I heard from my master that these 2 sentences were composed when I was 15 years old. They excitedly suggested that I would be defeated by Montige after joining the sect. Maybe he can become a Rujia saint in the future. Then they took me to a small windy mountain. This is the gathering place for the superiors who enter the clan room. Everyone is waiting to attend tomorrow's Yanling conference. Tell me again and there will be someone to make arrangements for what happens next. The 2 staff members took my master Li Changsheng and left together. As soon as I said goodbye to master, I heard someone behind me asking, "Are you the disciple who came first?" I turned around and saw a little girl with a pink jade carving. She said her name was Su Qiaoer. She's the daughter of the caretaker here. In Derji, I will also be a member of the Yanling conference tomorrow. Su Qiaoer reveals her identity as daughter. Said he would take me to arrange a host. I found out during the chat. We originally gathered here. All the disciples who are waiting for Yanling tomorrow have the spiritual root. The Yanling conference is just to separate the levels of disciples. The spiritual roots are divided into 7 levels from counterfeit to top quality, corresponding to different colors. It also indicates the degree of importance this disciple receives. Su Qiaoer helped me find a clean place to live. I have shame. Ask him to take me around. He said he wanted to get familiar with the environment of Sungmen. Just when we are walking around, suddenly there was a burst of cheers from the crowd. There are 3 medical workers in Jing who are working hard. Pass in front of us. Su Qiaoer told me. These 3 people are all princes of the dynasty. I've been busy lately, so I can tell you. What is there to envy? Maybe. You are still the son of the 7th courtyard. God has the best spiritual roots. Just as he finished speaking, I suddenly felt Shante. There was a familiar warmth again. But this warm feeling is fleeting. Convince me of my suspicion. Could it be that I had an illusion? Su Qiaoer told me before that I can awaken the best spiritual roots. I feel like there seems to be a scene at Shantian. After I came back, I closed my eyes and crossed my legs. I want to see if I can check what happened to my single field. Of course, the result is useless. Haven't started formal practice yet. Even if I have spiritual roots, it's also different from Funman's beauty and stupidity. Early the next morning, it came from Zongmen Square. Anxious Chinese life. Go to the picture of attending the Yanling conference again. Met Su Qiao, the only rat man again. As soon as we arrived at the square, we saw the scene of Shenghan. It's not the Yanling crystal that rises high in the center, but the 3 princes I met yesterday. They actually looked forward to the new light falling from the sky. This means that before they were defeated by the sect, he started practicing. I not only dare to explore. Tutai is indeed a technology. At this time, the crowd cheered again. Someone fell from the sky again. This is Ling Qingxue, the new generation of the evil Orchid Dynasty's lady. Her appearance, very similar to the previous 3 princes. The difference is, the 4th generation of Ling Qingxue is a military force of the human economy. According to rumors, she has the possibility of deeply damaging the spiritual roots of the earth, or even higher. With the beginning of the Yanling conference, among the many geological tests, those are all traditional and high-grade spiritual roots, and those 3 popular princes. Among them, Sima Sun and Master Ouyang. For the clear spirit root of dipping, he was killed on the spot by a great master and a palace master. It is for Qingchuan geology. In addition, Qing Haopian, the prince of Qing dynasty, because of the family purpose of relying on the dynasty's aura, her original dipping spiritual root, successfully upgraded to purple balanced spiritual root. Even the head of Qing Yun sect praised him repeatedly. This guy's future will be miserable. Next, the leftover spirit Qingxue's test was even more shocking. She didn't rely on the dynasty's energy. Instead, it directly measured the broken purple balanced spiritual root. The ecstasy of the people gathered with the sect master is sensational and cannot be revealed. Shin Haoyan's face changed slightly as he had the spirit root of Tianping. Sima Sun and Master Ouyang were even more difficult and lost their way. Originally, they thought that simulation was already the top priority. Unexpectedly, two heavenly wines with Tianping spiritual roots appeared in Xia. At that time, it was the time when the old man taught Ling Mohan. I am in a special mood. Walking towards the Yanling crystal. I'm not talking about whether the spiritual root is advanced or first level. What I'm speechless about is, why should you rank me behind these four wastes? Looking at the silence, and stared at my crowd with strange eyes. The palm of my body. It's like touching half of an ancestor's palm. When the palm finally presses on the crystal, the dark city gray that represents the spiritual roots of anti-pacification lights up on it. The microcosm shook their heads inside. Yes, please use the gap between mortals and heavenly friends. Su Chaoer, who was not far away, also held on to both rights and faced regrets. Can lie tightly. The color of the crystal changes rapidly, flashing from gray to white and yellow to orange. Just a few breaths. My spiritual root product breaks through the spirit stopping body here. The real group began to send out golden calls. Everyone is envious that I can become the core of the sect. Just when the old man was about to announce my test results, the color of the crystals under my hand started to change again. First it changed from orange to clear death. The two Wangzis who were watching in the audience had their eyelids twitching. But when the clear death on the crystal is completely covered with color and ink, Passenger Yanling Square is finally boiling. He is actually another heavenly friend who deeply cherishes the spiritual roots of heaven. Very free for anything to happen. This time, I will keep Aobu Sun's love number. The soul body of Tindu started fighting. You know it cost Huang Chao Xiaoyu. Just look at the awakened Tianpin spiritual root. I'm a person with no background. It's so easy to achieve. However, most people pay too much. In the purple crystal under my hand, he actually began to fade away and emit a red light like a waste flame. The whole world is boiling at this moment. The weak Yanling Square actually started to delete the fight. The gravel on the first side is also beating constantly. Only when something happens to the best spiritual roots will the environment change. Even the sect leader has become so grand that he dare not spread the word. The glorious life of Sanqing was also passed on at this time. The most prestigious organization in the sect at that time. 3 rings of the organization means that the sect has an acquaintance with the best spiritual roots. Just when the flame spirit crystal completely turned red. After a deadly blow, the crowd. There was an explosion of unprecedented progress. Including the spiritual blood that has always been cold and indifferent. Everyone's expression changed dramatically. I am a warm-hearted person. The leader of the Qin sect is in trouble. Our Qin Yun zone wants to show off its talent. But the next moment, some change of situation. The red crystal directly caused the vibration of the surrounding aura. The place where I was already practicing suddenly felt that my body was torn apart. The spiritual energy in my body was almost drained. The sect master was the first to learn about the military world. He immediately flew out. Cell should be cast on the Ringu festival. Ling Jia tribute is deliberate. The surrounding area of the crystal is shown. The spiritual energy that had gone out of control was stabilized. Seeing everyone excitedly shouting about the best spiritual root. Actually, I'm also having a blast in my heart. Travel through the past 18 years. I finally became the Tianqiu of this world. Su Chaoer in the wrong place. He also looked excited and proud. This result is actually nothing like what he guessed yesterday. Not long after, 2 knowledges about Zhengnan and Zhengbei. Finally, I feel like a master. Seeing that it is your own place. Awaken the best spiritual root. After Li Changsheng made a mistake, he laughed wildly immediately. He smiled and patted my shoulder. Wei Shi knew it already. Your emperor is smart. I said go to the best spiritual root. Even if you awaken the legendary divine spiritual root. It seems that Wei Shi doesn't feel weird either. He deliberately amplified the negative information. It made everyone present feel Han Yi. I'm already used to master. Love to brag. But then the master's voice fell. I suddenly felt like I was suddenly rioting. Just like a blazing fire burning half of it. And the important items can be lowered. In the red crystal hidden under my hand, there was actually a little bit of golden color beginning to emerge. The sect master who was controlling the crystal in the air suddenly changed his face. He immediately summoned the entire Qingyun sect. Let them all immediately begin to end the day resurrection formation. Immediately, the mountain breeze spread across the sect. Use people who are stepping on the flowing light. The sound of rhythmic formation sounded. A large ring of clouds and mist is formed. Quickly wrapped up the entire Qingyun sect. Next second, the fierce spirit crystal suddenly appears as a crystal light. Someone here started to have his eyelids twitching wildly in his mind chakra. Because they remember the myth that has been passed down for thousands of years. Those who have awakened the crystal umbrella divine great spiritual roots. He is the son of destiny of Kyushu. Just as the fierce spirit crystal erupted, it was as bright as the eye light stone. The highest ranking organization in the sect. RUF beeps again. The smoke crystal is under my palm. Shunjian is full of violent news. Immediately we were exploded to pieces. Strictly watch the golden colored rise with Xiangrui. Foot washing spreads. Zone host Meng ordered everyone to join the ancient fury formation. What he didn't expect was that this golden light didn't give him any time to prepare. A beam of dragon star light finally broke through the formation. The next second, it will soar into the sky, dive thousands of miles of mountains and rivers into golden fire. This item immediately activated countless powers in the land of Kyushu. Several powerful professionals rushed towards the Qingyun sect. Want the first time? Find the son of Tianming who has the spiritual root of Shinping. And on the highest wind among the blue clouds, the statues of the 75th generation elders also began to shake. Taishizu, who was in the void at the age of 10,000 years ago, actually thought of Thanksgiving. He just waved his hand casually. It destroyed the stronger Qingyun fury formation. Rolling out the clouds into dragon horns, Shunjian swallows the last golden phase light. Always calms down so quickly. In addition, those strong men who were still coming directly lost their direction. Taishizu, master of fortune-telling and fortune-telling, determined that he must cultivate me, the son of Tianming, well. After doing all this, the spiritual thought was dispersed. I see the crystal in front of me has been shattered to pieces. Positive picture, sweet drama. Maybe when I looked up, I found that whether it was the sect leader or the elder, even the 3 princes, even Ling Qingxue and all the disciples are straight up. I shrank my neck. I feel a little crazy in my heart for no reason. Among the masters, Cheng Shang was the first to stand up. Lo Hihi said that he was worthy of being his good disciple. The spirit root of Shinping became the last breath for him. I felt so weird looking at the old man in front of me. It seemed like he was the one who said it just now. It's not enough for me to awaken the spiritual roots of Shinping. Sure enough, I awakened the divine spiritual root. And that day in the aperture field, he seems to be making a fuss about something too. Is it possible? This old man's mouth is open. Due to the broken Yanling crystal. The Yanling conference saved countless lives. Other disciples follow your knowledge. Went to the corresponding mountain peak. All over the square. Only 3 princes, me and Ling Qingblood, are left. According to sect regulations, the horizon has reached spiritual roots. You can become the feudal lord of Qing dynasty. Sima Ren, the feudal lord of Great Ling, accepted Sima's son from his Tong sect. Red Knight sealed Lord Yiqing. Then he took in the Prince Ouyang Xiaoyu. Today, I was captured in front of the master photo. Xiaoling sealed the words but failed to seal the master. Then I collected the cold spirit blood. He has warm and intelligent eyes among more than 30 feudal lords. They all want to accept the death of me, who has a divine spiritual root and is destined to die. The sect leader Li Xuanqi preemptively expressed that he wanted to take me in, but was cut off by Yiqing, who had already taken over the territory. In addition, Zhao Jian and Sima Ran also competed with each other. Said that my practice direction is more suitable for his and mine. The other 32 feudal lords also wanted to come up, trying to take me into your hands. Lord Yushio said he would fight me to the end. The Lord of Lingfeng promised me resources to choose from. There was even a female feudal lord who directly promoted me to a higher level spiritual realm. The other feudal lords were able to shrink back when they saw it. Someone said a white war dragon spirit armor that can wait for fortune to attack. There are even gifts of Taijin Yushu. Machine 100 unparalleled pre-qualified quality warranty. The eyes of people from other places turned red when they saw it. The clear inheritance of these feudal lords is even more related to Korei. The sect leader Li Shan was about to lose control when he saw the situation, shouting to take out the Tianpin suppressing treasure and send him away. Then he agreed to be the law. Songman's highest score began to vibrate violently. The earthen rocks are collapsing violently, and there are important treasures to be uncovered. This scared the other feudal lords into quickly admitting defeat. Advise him to stop. I watched the important treasure that was about to be destroyed. Full of disappointment. Li Shan's mechanism activates Lao Jingjua. He even asked me to become his teacher with nothing. I looked at the pile of earth-level treasures I received in my hand. Can only shed tears. It's time to take the opportunity to become a disciple of Li. After 3 games, the sect leader exempted my master Li Changqing from his age. Thinking of his meritorious service in raising me, I will kill him. I also thought about his exchange of waste chops and a century-old demeanor. Turn around and don't forget to support other feudal lords. Don't tell anyone about my awakening of my spiritual root.